Hello, everybody. This is Happy Holidays. I hope you all are well. And I am so excited. I'm going to be speaking with Marina Cano today on behalf of Vital Impacts. And I am just going to find her. Let me put my glasses on and let her in. Um, Let me just send her a message. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay. There you are. Hello, Marina. Welcome. How are you?
Hello, Amy. I'm very happy and I'm so pleased to be here with you. Really pleased. I'm honored to be here.
Oh, thank you. We are too. And Marina, are you in Spain or are you in Kenya? You're home.
I'm home. I'm in northern Spain, in Cantabria. Yes.
Oh, very nice. Well, I hope you had a wonderful holiday.
Yeah.
And yeah, I know you have been traveling, and I would love for people to know. I mean, so many people already know about you, but Marina is part of the Vital Impacts winter collection, and your work is, I mean, it is breathtaking. And I'm going to actually, for anybody that doesn't know, I'm going to add a link right now so they can see it. But I thought I would just let you talk about your work, and maybe we could start with this image. Can you tell me about this? I mean, you have a passion for elephants, don't you?
Of course, who doesn't? Yes, I think, oh, thank you so much for your kind words and hi everyone, hi everybody. Um, this picture, well, I'm really honored to be part of Vital Impact and to support conservation because I think we, all the photographers, all the wildlife photographers and landscape photographers, we should really support conservation and be conservationists ourselves. So yes, I really in this picture. Well, this is an elephant that I took in Amboseli National Park in Kenya, one of my loved places in Africa, in the world as well. And I think it is an kind of icon that represents, well, it's dusting and, if you know, Amboseli is very dry and usually dry, and unfortunately they come out from a big drought, and all this dust, I think it creates this like kind of aura. I don't know if this is a English word or I'm inventing, but it's what I say. Well, you wrote when you published it. So once you are at the same level as him, you can feel the power of nature. I just download my camera as much as I could from my car to go to his level and to take this picture so you can feel really the power. And also because elephants are like icons, they are the largest land mammals on earth. It is an icon of African animals and also uh, of the world, I think. And they are in this critical danger because the population has, as you know, and I'm sure everybody that's listening right now, they know, from the beginning of last century, they the population was 10 million of elephants, 10 million. And from there, we are right now at less than 500,000, 400,000. It's incredible. And we know what happened. What happened to them? Well, we all know as well. It is the poaching because of the ivory trade. And it's also the loss of the habitat because of the pressure of the human population and our activities. And this is happening all over the world. this is happening everywhere. I've been in Patagonia like last month, and same thing happened with the cougar. And I was collaborating with a conservation foundation, Cerro Guido, and they are doing a really nice work trying to minimize the conflict between humans and cougars. And the same happened where I live. Where I live here, it is beautiful forest in Cantabria, and there are wolves. And same problem with cattle and land and all that.
Marie,
So
oh,
yeah,
oh, go ahead. I didn't want to interrupt, but I just had a question. I mean, do you believe has photography in your life changed some of these things for the better? I mean, we had Steve Winter on, and I believe photography is so powerful. Can you talk about your experience and has your work? I mean, why do you photograph?
yes. Well, I photograph because I fall in love with the animals. I at the beginning I photographed because it was a passion just to capture a landscape or animals. But it was a moment that I fall in love. I really fall in love with animals, and then I I think that with that tool of photography, I could reach big audiences. And then with that, I didn't want just to show the beauty of what I did or what the picture it was, but the beauty of the animal. And I saw that people also could fall in love. And the theory is, my theory is that if you fell in love, if you love animals, you want to protect. So I think it's a way of reaching people to protect as well. That is the big powerful of image. And with the social media, internet, we have this a quick way to show to the world what's happening. So I think we have a really nice tool in our hands that we have to use, and we are doing it.
You are, you
Yeah,
are.
you too.
We are so honored to have your work a part of this. I mean, it is so ethereal and mysterious and beautiful too. And I'm just so curious a little bit about your own background. I mean, how did you get started? When did you first pick up the camera?
Well, my background it's a mixture of things. Um, well, I've been taking photographs since I was a teenager a long time ago. But like 20 years ago, I changed my subject because I started taking photographs of wildlife. So, but I come from well, it was because my father was an amateur photographer. That's my origin. That's my beginning. My father was an amateur, and then I took his camera, and then I started playing, when I was 17, playing with the camera. It was film time when the film
Yeah.
photography. But my background is in music. I study classical music long time ago as well, and I became a teacher. But the passion I had for photography was more powerful. That took me to this where I say that the animals, they changed my life. They have really changed my life, and I'm so grateful that I have to work for conservation because of many reasons. And one is that they changed my life.
How did they change your life?
Well, because I was working as a teacher, and I'm doing photography like in my free time. But at one point, I fall in love with animals. So where I just wanted to go to Africa to photograph them, and all that was growing and growing and growing. It was a moment that I have to leave the school because I couldn't teach more photography, and then I became a wildlife photographer, and it was thanks to the animals. So I cannot be more grateful and of course supportive.
Well, and thank you. You know, Marina has been a part of so many print sales, not just ours, but you're always so generous and donating your images and And you've been a part of since we began, and even before we began Vital Impact. So thank you. I mean, and I'm going to just put it in fresh again in so people see your image, but please have a look at all of her work. And we have a link to your website and your work on ours, but also, yes. And I'm curious too, is there a link between music and photography? Do you think it I mean, does it, or is there a link in our brain?
Yeah, I've been told many times about that kind of link and that kind of connection. I think it's all about sensibility. I knew that all my life I was going to go to some creative a process, whatever it is, in music, in photography, in this case, literature. I loved writing as well, but it is a kind of a creativity, and that is the common in with photography. And I know a lot of photographers that are musicians, so might be that in common for sure.
Do you have tips for somebody that might just be starting out? What's your advice for people that dream of doing? I mean, you spend quite a bit of time on the road, don't you? I'm seeing you're always traveling.
Yeah,
Is that true?
right. Yes,
How
like,
somebody of doing your life? What do they do?
well, what I think it is the one of the most important things that that I would have loved to hear when I was a little girl was to trust in yourself or believe in yourself.
Me too.
Really believe in yourself. And if you have talent, real talent and passion, that will take you to the point, maybe to the point, to the goals that you want, that you have. Maybe not in a short time. You have to be perseverant, and patient, and keep going, keep working. And that passion is a kind of engine that will take you wherever you want to go. That's my advice about, because this is a world, look at you and me, we are two female photographers, and I love that because that opens a kind of normality to a world that is not so accessible for females. So I like to be seen by little girls, by teenagers, female, that we are a kind of sample that we can bring some normality in being a wildlife photographer, in being traveling the world and doing what we do. So that's my advice. We are here, we get there, and many more female photographers, they can do it. And it's just about to trust and work. Passion. The passion will move you.
I totally agree. And I love the way you express that it adds a normalcy too, because I think when I started, I remember how I was always asked to do the most dramatic, sensational kind of images and things to cover and focus on the violence as well. And it's so interesting because I do think it's like the quieter, subtler moments are so important. Those are the ones we all recognize and can relate to. If that is that what you mean actually when you said that? Was that your
Yeah,
meaning of adding normalcy?
yeah, I think yeah, to bring normality to be a woman traveling and doing a work that historically we have this idea of men traveling the world or being with a long lens. In my case, I carry a long lens for wildlife, and yeah, everyone can do it. Everyone, and everyone includes us. So we are the living proof that it's possible to become a wildlife photographer, to become a National Geographic photographer, and traveling everywhere in the world, and be the witness for a lot of things that you are working on, and all the wildlife I'm doing. So yeah, I love the idea of being a kind of sample for giving or bringing normality in a profession that sometimes looks like, you know, far in the moon. And if you are female, is in Mars. So no, we are here on Earth, and we can.
It's so true. Everybody, so possible. And do you remember, like, what was the first image or story or thing that you were working on that made you feel like I really can do this? Was there one moment or image?
Yes, yes. And when I started to see that, well, it was on social media, many people start to, especially like 10 or 12 years ago on Facebook, that was exploding. And my Instagram, I'm sorry, my Facebook was like exploding. And I saw people all over the world sharing my work and commenting my work. And I thought, hey, this is interesting. I can, and then I realized I can reach so many people in the world, and everything was changing in my mind because I was just, you know, capturing this animal or the other animal, and everything was like evolving. And I thought, I can. First of all, I love these animals that I'm photographing, and then I can reach so many people because the audience was growing so much. And then National Geographic in my country, they want to do a nice a report about Kenya, and they asked me for the cover. And I thought, wow, oh my God, this is going to be amazing. This was several years ago, and I thought, this is fantastic. And then I started looking at myself and saying, hey, girl, you are doing it. And this pushed me up and keep going and keep working and keep traveling. And sometimes, you know, that you go like this and then something else happens and you say, hey, yes, I can do it. And that's the way I reach here where I am, wherever it is, that I'm really, really feel so happy and so grateful to become this wildlife photographer, traveling and doing what I love more. So yeah.
I I'm in awe of what you create. And and one final thought I just had is that I don't know if it was the same for you, but when I began, it felt very, and it may still feel that way for many people, is that you're very isolated and it can feel lonely. And as you're making your way up into this career, and I'm curious, was it that way for you as well? Was it kind of you were on your own and not many colleagues?
Yes. In my case, I said that I had photography as a new religion when I got divorced. In my case, I just go into photography like there is nothing else in the world. And at the same time, I felt isolated, but I love to be in a way, I love to be on my own, doing my things, and I'm not worried about what other people are doing here and there. I'm just focused on what I'm doing and enjoying what I'm doing. Um, you know, I come from from a family of four brothers,
Um,
so I'm the only sister, the only female, and I used to fight. I've been all my life fighting with them. So I think that make me robust enough to go life and do things by myself, by my own, and but happy to share, very happy to share with people.
oh, it's beautiful. And I mean, I say this only because I do hear a lot from people saying that, and I feel the same way. Like when you're out there, it's kind of nice to think about things and do it on your own. But I do think it's important to have a community. And I think as photographers, we, it's so competitive that by coming together, we can actually be more supportive. And I just wanted to give a shout out because we have two grants and a mentoring program that I wanted to promote a little bit. So there's two $20,000 grants for long-term environmental, that means conservation or anything related to the natural world.
Mhm.
And just to let people know that you're not alone, and that
Yeah,
there's
right.
and especially when we're trying to work towards, protecting animals, protecting the environment, and I feel like we all have to come together around these issues in particular. But I'm
Yeah.
so we're so grateful to be collaborating with you, and please everybody go and look at more of Marina's work, and I know you also do workshops, and you're on the road so much. This
Yeah.
and so I hope everybody goes and spends some time with your work. But
I
yeah,
appreciate so much all what you do, not only in wildlife or in photography, but uh, in the way you are and the way you protect the and spread the word and create these vital impacts, and do so much work for conservation, that it is it's amazing really to be right now here sharing this little space with you, and you are generous. No, yes, I want to point the generosity in this so competitive world. So when I find generous people, it's like, wow, for me it's something else. So I want to point at that, about your generosity, because it's not that
no,
common. So yes,
so
it is,
I
and I'm
left
learning.
it back together.
No, I'm learning about this because, well, we can all change and we can all be better human beings, and yeah, I'm learning a lot lately with some photographers that I'm finding in my career, and they are so supportive and so generous that I feel like, wow, this is like a sample for me, and learning
Oh,
is the key.
we're all it's beautiful but I hope that our paths cross, and I just want to, wish you a beautiful new year, and that I hope we meet maybe in Kenya or somewhere. But
Love to.
thank you. Everybody. Please go and follow Marina and learn more about her work. I mean, I also wanted to ask you, I mean, this image that you shared is so breathtaking. I mean, it just stops you in your tracks. It is, I mean, and you said you were laying down on the ground?
No,
Um,
I just
when
went
this,
as low as possible in the car, inside the car, but some places I can go without the door, or going down. You have to do like acrobatics in the car, trying to go up to the lowest point. So the elephant is as big as they are, like this magnificent being. So that's the power, no? The power to have them like they are, like so spectacular and magnificent.
I know they change you, don't they? I mean, it's like once you're in the presence of an elephant,
Yeah. Yes.
it's well, have a very happy new year, and thank you so much again. And just we really love you and are so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Amy. It has been really, really my pleasure to be with you, and count on me on whenever you need.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
likewise. Take care. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.